Hello, good evening everyone. This is Mae Oloya from Group 2 and we will discuss about the one type of test validity which is the phase validity. To understand more about phase validity, let us define first what is a test validity. This is one of the principles of high-quality assessments. Validity came from a root word valid, which means acceptable or appropriate. So as teachers, we are expected to prepare an appropriate, valid, and acceptable assessment tools which suits to the level of learners. So what is a test validity? It is when the assessment instrument measures what it intends to measure. So what do we intend to measure? It could be the objectives, it could be the learning of students, it could also determine if the instructions given by the teacher is effective, or it could also measure the effectivity of material that were used by the teacher. Test validity also refers to the usefulness of the instrument for a given purpose. Is it for formative assessment that you are looking for mastery or improvement? Or is it for diagnostic assessment? You want to determine the recurring difficulty encountered by the learner? Or is it for summative purpose? You want to give a grade that will certify the accomplishment of the student from a series of teaching. Test validity is the most important criterion of a good assessment instrument. In our last discussion, we learned about the test reliability. The question is a reliable test a valid test? The answer is no. A reliable test is not always a valid test. Kahit reliable ang isang test, or it has the consistency like it is given twice or multiple times to same group of students, ay mag-a-arrive sa almost the same scores, ay hindi pa rin ito maituturing na valid test. Magiging valid lang ito if it is factual, appropriate, or acceptable. Lastly, it is valid if it measures what it is supposed to measure. Ibig sabihin, kaya niyang sukatin yung dapat niyang sukatin. So remember that a reliable test is not automatically a valid test, but a valid test is always a reliable test. So let us go to the different types of test validity. Are the content validity, phase validity, predictive validity, construct validity, concurrent validity, convergent validity, and last is the divergent validity. So our group was assigned to discuss about the phase validity.
Good day, classmates, and good day, sir. My name is Jesel A. Añonuevo from 3 Math C. So today, I will discuss about one of the type of test validity. First is phase validity. Phase validity is the extent to which a test is subjectively viewed as covering the concept it purports to measure. It refers to the transparency or relevance of a test as it appears to test participants. Ito ay tumutukoy sa kahalagahan ng isang pagsubok o test bilang ito ay lilitaw upang subukan ang mga kalahok. A test can be said to have a phase validity if it looks like it is going to measure what it is supposed to measure. When the test is presented well, free of errors, and administered well. Kapag ang test ay hiniharap na rin, walang mga error at pinangasiwaan ng maayos. Ang phase validity, ito po yung unang pumapasok sa ating kaisipan kung pag ito po natin ay nakita. Or this is the time that you will release your impressions as soon as you receive the test papers. Or there it might be emotion or excitement as soon as you receive the test paper. because done by examining the physical appearance of the instrument. The font style, font size, the indentation, layout of the exam, clarity of copies. Dito po, sa teacher na po, kung ano po ang gagamitin nilang size, font style, or kung ano pong klaseng layout ng test. Similar to content validity but more informal and subjective. So, ang dapat dito po ay napaka informal, tas kumbaga subjective po. Consider the weakest form of validity. Ito po yung pinakamahinang validity. So, face validity is important for some tests. If examinees are not interested or do not see the relevance of a particular test, they may not take it seriously or participate to the best of their abilities. Ang face validity ay napaka-importante po. Pero kung ang pagsusuri ay hindi interesado o hindi makita ang kahalaga ng isang particular na test, maaring hindi nila ito seryosohin o lumahok sa pagsubok or test ng kanilang mga kakayahan.
In all cases, face validity is not based on empirical research evidence. When used alone, face validity provides very weak support for the overall validity of a scale. We can improve the quality of face validity assessment considerably by making it more systematic. For instance, if you are trying to assess the face validity of a math ability measure, it would be more convincing if you sent the test to a carefully selected sample of experts on math ability testing, and they all reported back with the judgment that your measure appears to be a good measure of math ability. When we say systematic, it means being organized. Sabi dito, kaya nating i-improve si face validity assessment kung maibibigay natin ito ng maayos. Halimbawa, in math ability measure, ibibigay natin yung assessment doon sa magaling sa math ability testing. Upang maging maganda, ang makuha nating scale o sukat sa math ability. Let's now move on to the possible advantage and disadvantages of face validity. Possible advantage of face validity. If the respondent knows what information we are looking for, they can use that context to help interpret the questions and provide more useful, accurate answer. Yung maaaring advantage ni face validity ay kapag alam ni respondent yung information na hinahanap natin, gagamitin niya yung factor na yun upang mas ma-interpret and maibigay niya yung tamang sagot. Now, the possible disadvantage of face validity is if the respondent knows what information we are looking for, they might try to bend and shape their answer to what they think we want. Bend and shape means work may be conducted in a small to large scale. Example, fake good or fake bad. Let's now have the examples to be given by Mr. Principe.
And now, I will give some example using the face validity. Example number 1. The assistant principal browsed the test paper made by math teacher. She checked if the contents of the items are about mathematics. She examined if instructions are clear. She browsed through the items if the grammar is correct and if the vocabulary is within the student level of understanding. Example number 2. If a measure of art appreciation is created, all of the items should be related to the different components and types of art. If the questions are regarding historical time periods with no reference to any artistic movement, stockholders may not be motivated to give their best effort or invest in their measure because they do not believe it is a true assessment of art appreciation. Example number 3, people might have negative reaction to an intelligence test that did not appear to them to be measuring their intelligence.
To summarize our topic, a test can be said to have face validity if it looks like it is going to measure what it is supposed to measure, when the test is presented well, free of errors, and administered well. It is done by examining the physical appearance of the instrument. So, this is the end of our discussion. I hope you learned from our topic. This is Face Validity by Group 2. Thank you for listening.